Hello, this is Weiss again with my video here talking about sectional chart. We can go ahead and review about the sectional chart, um, and we're going to review about the airspaces and whatever you have here in the sectional chart. So let's take a look. We are currently at this area, O'Hare, Chicago area, and we will proceed with this area. So what do we see here? We're gonna go ahead and take a look here. We got almost all these airspaces around here. Uh, Currently, let's talk about Bravo airspace. So Bravo airspace is this blue uh, circle here. It's like upside down cake. Sorry about that. Let me zoom a little bit here. So this airspace is um, it's like upside down cake, has layers, and if you flip it, um, and this is how it is. So this blue um, solid line, these are Bravo busy airspaces. It extends normally from surface to all the way 10,000 feet MSL, which gives you right up here in the center circle. It extends from the surface all the way to 10,000 MSL, and then some Bravo airspaces that are in different location, they are actually they are depends on location. They extend all the way to more than 10,000 feet MSL, but normal extension is up to 10,000 MSL. Come up here, for example, let's look at this Bravo airspace. Let's take a look. Slow. Um, so, for example, taking Denver International, it extends from surface up to 12,000 feet. MSL. So it depends on location how high they would extend. So let's go back to Chicago. So when you say it's busy airspace, what do you need for this? This airspace, basically you need to, in order for you to enter this airspace as a private pilot, or you know what, even better, if we talk about uh, the student pilot. So, for example, Chicago student pilots, even if you give them instructors, even if instructors would give their student pilot a let's go back to Chicago here. So even if they get the endorsement from their instructors, they're probably not allowed to enter Bravo airspace. That means they have to give them training. Instructors should give training to their student, and then endorse them, and then they probably enter different Bravo airspace, but not O'Hare. And that's how it is. Not in O'Hare probably because it's really busy here. And then cloud clearances. So let's say private pilot, you'll be able to enter. Well, what do we need for? What else? What do you need to enter this airspace? So let's say this one is called Mode C Veil. Um, it extends from the center about 30 nautical miles, and it say it here around this veil. Magenta solid line. It says 30 nautical mile extends Mode C, and in order for a private pilot to enter this airspace, um, right up here, Bravo, at 4,000, starts from 4,000 MSL to 10,000 MSL. In order for you to enter, you need two-way radio communication. You need transponder mode C at least, and you need obviously clearance. So these three things, you 100% need them. So mode C transponder, anytime you're under this Bravo airspace or right around here, like Aurora area, you are clear of Bravo, but still you need mode C transponder if you're flying around Aurora here, because you're under this veil, mode C veil. So if you fly under 4,000 feet MSL and you're around this area, you better have mode C transponder. And above 10,000 feet MSL, you need mode C transponder. So you need above 10,000 MSL, you need mode C transponder, means above Bravo airspace. Or if you are below Bravo airspace, you need mode C transponder. So all that's what you need. Cloud clearances inside the Bravo airspace is like 3 statute miles and clear of clouds. So visibility would be 3 statute miles and have to stay clear of clouds. That's your cloud clearances. Airspeed restriction, speed restrictions are you have to be so you can go fly 250 knots under 10,000 MSL inside Bravo. Below 200 knots, below Bravo airspace, below all these layers. 200 knots per airspeed wise, let's see. There's a corridor. If it's a depicted corridor, it's a VFR corridor. Some Bravo airspaces do have that, but this one does not have it. Then you have 200 knots in that corridor that you are allowed to fly airspeed wise. Alright, let's talk about this here, since we are here, and we just gonna talk about it. It's Charlie airspace, solid magenta line here, and clearly tells us what do you have. It's the same thing, like upside down cake, and it has one layer extension. The center one from the surface to 3,000, less than, it says minus 3,600, so from the surface extends to 3,599. 3,599 feet. So that's what it is, okay? So means that from surface to obviously transition. If you take a look, 3,600 right up here on this corner. I don't know if you can see my cursor. Right around here, this layer, this portion, all the way from here to here, starts from 3,600 MSL to 10,000 MSL. So it means that Charlie airspace at this portion right up here is, and this portion here is your from surface to 3,600 MSL. So less than 3,600 MSL. So it'll be 3,599. And then right up here it says transition, and then right around here you can see that starts from 1,900 MSL to transition here, and then right up here made it. Oops, sorry. Right up here they made it a little bit simpler, minus 3,600. So same thing, because we are from in this portion, we are from here to here. Alright. And then this portion right up here in this corner of Charlie airspace, it goes up to, from surface, it goes up to 1,900, less than 1,900 if you take a look around here. Minus 1,900, so it will be 1,899 feet. And then you got 1,900 your Bravo airspace. Okay, so the radius from the center, you got 5 nautical miles for Charlie airspace, and your extension, the second layer, goes up to 10 nautical mile from the center. So let's see if I can manage. So it's going to be 10 nautical mile there, and then from the center to first layer, 5 nautical mile, and it extends up to 4,000 feet AGL above ground. Normally, this first circle here. What do you need for in order for you to enter Charlie airspace? Well, obviously they recommend to call them about 20 nautical mile, 20 nautical mile to airspace. Recommend to call them because they are pretty busy too sometimes, and you need two-way radio comm. You need obviously mode C transponder, and you don't need clearance. You can just call them and give your tail number. Just make sure you listen carefully for your tail number back. Otherwise, if they say Skyhawk calling from some location, stand by, you're not allowed to penetrate this airspace. So you will be circling whatever. So be careful of that. Cloud clearances inside Charlie airspace, it will be 3152. Obviously, 3 statute miles visibility, 1,000 feet above clouds. So we got 3, 1 above clouds, and you got 2,000 feet horizontally, and then 500 below. So 3152, a rule inside the Charlie airspace. In your airspeed, you should be within Charlie airspace. 4 nautical mile within Charlie airspace should be 200 knots. Your airspeed should be 200 knots. And that is it about Charlie airspace. I think we covered everything about it. I don't have anything right now to think of about Charlie airspace. All right, let's jump into Delta airspace here. I'm gonna go ahead and get ourselves closer to this Delta airspace. Obviously, this is magenta. I'm sorry, dash blue line here. When you see dash blue line, that's your Delta airspace in a VFR sectional chart. And this is a VFR DME, obviously compass rose. So don't get mistaken to your delta airspace here. So your delta airspace normally extends. The radius should be about 4 nautical mile, and it extends up to 2,500 AGL normally. But in case you see this here, whatever you call it, these, uh, yeah. So in case you see that, that means your delta airspace extends up to 3,300 MSL. Now this is going to be MSL. So in this case, it's getting me like confusing some people. Why now 3,300 MSL when we have this layer of Bravo starts at 3,000? Well, probably they're dealing with O'Hare traffic or something, or I'm not sure why. But this portion right up here is entering Bravo airspace. If you're staying at 3,300 MSL, you'll be inside Bravo. So for some reason, you probably need clearance to enter Bravo um, with Bravo ETC air traffic controller. But I have no idea. And I tried to look for it, and I couldn't figure out how come we have this delta airspace extending to Bravo. Alright, so delta airspace, cloud clearances they're the same, like same as Charlie 3152. And for Delta to enter Delta, obviously you need two-way comms. You don't need mode C. But since good guess, whoever did it. Since we are under Bravo and under mode C Veil, you have to have your transponder working properly when you are operating under Bravo here in Delta airspace. Here in Aurora, partially you need definitely mode C transponder. So yep, you need mode C. You need two-way comm, and you don't need clearance. Same as Charlie. You have to hear your tail number though. You have to hear your tail number back. Like ATC should be replying your tail number in order for you to penetrate the airspace. Otherwise, if you're being told same thing, if you're being told Skyhawk or Bonanza or whatever, stand by, you are not allowed to enter the airspace. So, and that's your Delta airspace here. Pretty much the airspeed within 4 nautical mile of the airspace, you should be actually within 4 nautical mile here of the airport. You should be about 200 knots. Your airspeed should be no more than 200 knots. So we talked about cloud clearances and your airspeed too in Delta airspace. Now we're gonna go ahead and talk about. We did Bravo, we did Charlie, with Delta, we did. Now we're gonna talk about. Now we can talk about. Let's say Gulf airspace. Okay, since they're visible, we can talk about them. So. If you've noticed this, I can show you right quick. All these here magenta shaded areas, these are Gulf airspaces. Okay, and if you see some of them circle, some like weird shapes they have, they all Gulf airspace, and you could have inside of that like a Delta airspace right around here, and this is called Tersa. It's nothing. It's not airspace. If examiner asks, don't say this is airspace. Um, so these are Gulf airspaces. They extend from surface to 700 AGL, and that's it. It's uncontrolled airspace. Nobody has control over you, and obviously it extends to up to 700 AGL only. And then once you pop out of this um, magenta shaded airspace, you still engulf up to 1200 AGL anywhere that is not like you don't have any airspace or anything like magenta shaded like here. Um, if you, for example, anywhere that you don't see any airspace or anything, these areas, all these areas, oops, like these areas, all of them, they are Gulf airspaces. There are Gulf airspaces anywhere you point. Like for example, I point right at this town. What is it? Shit, I gotta zoom in. Princeton. If I point at this town, if I'm right above it, like 900 feet AGL, I'm in Gulf airspace from surface to 1200 feet AGL, anywhere, right here, here, and anywhere in the United States. For example, if you point anywhere that there's nothing there, you can say from the surface to 1200 AGL you have Gulf airspace. Alright, let's give you a quick so now this is two type of Gulf airspace. One of them is depicted, goes to 700. The other one is not depicted. It starts from the surface up to 1200 feet AGL. Now let's talk about the cloud clearances. Obviously, we said that we don't need any clearance or anything. We don't have to be talking with ATC, or don't even have to worry about that. So cloud clearances, daytime, you have to be 1 mile and clear. Stay daytime. It would be, yes, 1 mile and clear of clouds. 1 mile visibility and clear of clouds. Stay clear of clouds. And here's same thing. I'm talking about Gulf. 1 mile and clear of clouds. And now when it comes to nighttime, then it will get back to 3152 rule. So it'll be 3 static mile visibility, 1,000 feet above, 500 below, and 2,000 horizontally. So that is your Gulf airspace. And then we go to let's talk about Echo now. Echo, oops. So let's talk about Echo airspace here. So Gulf, Echo is everywhere else. So it means Echo extends from at this point here above 700 AGL and all the way to 17,999 MSL. And then right outside here, we talked about it that we have Gulf airspace from surface to 1200 AGL, and then from 1200 AGL, Echo extends to 17,999 anywhere at these locations, anywhere where there's nothing depicted. So that is your echoes, extends from 1200 right around here AGL to 17999 MSL. From here 700 AGL to 17999, and your echo in echo airspace you need 3152 below 10,000 feet MSL, and above 10,000 feet MSL you need 5111 rule. 5 statute mile visibility 1,000 feet above, 1,000 feet below, and you 1 mile horizontally. And then your airspeed restriction above 10,000 feet MSL in that class echo airspace is basically unrestricted. Let's say now we have so echo extends from this portion here from 700 feet AGL up to 17,999, and here around here there's nothing depicted, from 1200 AGL to 17,999, and now from this location, this is magenta dashed line here, your echo extends from the surface. That's the only portion that echo extends from the surface all the way to 17,999 MSL. And definitely 3152 rule, and your airspeeds below 10,250 knots and above are unrestricted. And cloud clearances are the same, so that's the only portion of the echo that extends from the surface all the way up to 17,999. And they come up to different types, different shapes. Some of them are round that extends from the surface. Some of them really, let's find out if we have around us. They have different shapes here, and the reason of those shapes are here. So this is the echo airspace inside the Gulf airspace here. So right around here, a Gulf extends from the surface to 700 AGL, and then boom, right in this border and inside that magenta dashed, you got surface to 17,999. And these are for the precision approaches, or basically instrument approaches to this airport, Clinton. That's why they are like this for these approaches. Alright, talk to you later. I'm gonna have to disconnect this video here, and I'm gonna make the part 2, and we will talk about special use airspaces, and we will talk about all these numbers, obstacles, and these flags that you have, and these edge, whatever it says on that compass rose box. Vortac here, what are they mean, and we'll talk about alpha airspace. Obviously we didn't talk about it. We'll talk a lot more about these cool things like MTR, military training routes, and these vector airways. So stay tuned, watch my other video, and hope you enjoyed it and learned a lot of stuff. Cool. Talk to you later. Bye.